Hey, what's up everybody? It is your boy B and I am back bringing you guys another lit Florida prison video about solitary confinement at FSP. I'm talking about home of nothing but pain, suffering, misery, agony, pain, and even death. Now, yeah, on the flip side of that, it can actually make you a better person, but for most people, it doesn't do that. For most people, they end up completely losing it. They snap, they are broken mentally, emotionally, even physically. And then, like I said, some people either lose their life or get their life taken at FSP. This place is unlike any other place in the state of Florida. If you haven't already done it, I got 3 other videos about surviving 30 months of solitary confinement at FSP, so be sure to check out them as well. But for this one, we're going to get into the part where after I was on maximum management, I went into disciplinary confinement. Now, maximum management, what you got to keep in mind is there's only 24 cells in the entire state of Florida that are classified as maximum management. And the bottom floor of that wing actually has the death chamber. I'm talking about the electric chair and the lethal injection table right below the cell that I slept in. If that doesn't give you a crazy, eerie feeling, then I don't think anything will. So once I got taken off of maximum management and I went into disciplinary confinement over on B wing, I thought that this was just like completely brutal, being in maximum management inside of a cell that has a vestibule outside of the cell, that's inside of a hallway, that has no external walls, no sunlight ever penetrating the cell, and they will put you in pitch blackness. You have no privileges. The only thing you get is a little bit of writing material, a little bit of religious material, and hopefully your life. Other than that, you're not getting anything, period. Canteen, telephone, TV, outside, just none of that. That's all over with when you're in maximum management. Now that I left there and I'm going into B wing, this disciplinary wing is unlike, man, this place is just slap crazy. These guys that are on this wing, the majority of them are doing life sentences in disciplinary confinement because they have totally lost it. They have lost it and have snapped and have accumulated so many disciplinary reports, DRs, that they're doing forever in disciplinary confinement. And it's a psych wing. So the majority of the guys down there are taking some type of psych meds, and when either their psych meds makes them even crazier, or if they're not taking them and they're selling them to people, then they're even crazier. But it's nothing but crazy madness, mayhem. Man, listen, I ended up, it was so bad down there. I don't do any drugs. I'm not the type that likes to get high. You know, I have smoked some weed before, I've done some ecstasy, but that's never really been my thing. But it was so maniacal on this wing. I mean, it was over 24 hours and I could not even go to sleep because of the constant, endless noise on this wing. I'm talking about guys kicking on the door, banging on the door. And when I'm talking about kicking on doors, you got to keep in mind that all the doors are made of steel. And the track that they slide on, because they're sliding doors, is made of steel. And then the rest of the room is concrete. So when a man is laying on the floor and viciously kicking the door, it is not quiet. In fact, it's hella loud. So I get here on this wing, right? And I'm on the, like the officer station, the deck. This wing's a little bit different than the other wings at FSP as well, because you can't see all 3 levels. It's a 3-story wing, but you can't see all 3 levels. So when you come onto the officer station deck, you only see the 1 floor in front of you. And it's kind of quiet on that floor, but that's because the officer station is right there. Now, where they took me to was downstairs into the dungeon. Man, nothing but, I could not stand it down there. This was like, damn, are you seriously putting me down here? So they take me, walk me down to my cell. I'm handcuffed. I got the waist chain around me with the chain that runs down to my shackles. I'm shuffling my way down there, carrying my property, which is not really nothing but a blanket and a pillowcase, a couple pieces of paper. So here it is. I get to my cell, tell me to get in there. They undo my shackles. Tell me to stick, they shut the door, tell me to stick my arms back out of the flap. I put my arms out, they unhandcuff me. And now at this point, I have not even taken in the cell. I'm not really examined it because they're telling me, hey, get up here on the bunk, undo your shackles, or put your feet up so they can undo the shackles. So I'm listening to what they say. Obviously, I'm not trying to piss any people off right here off rip. So I'm making sure I pay attention to what they say. Now, as soon as they undo my handcuffs and they slam the flap, and I turn around and look at my cell, and now I'm smelling myself. I'm like, oh my God, where did you just put me? Listen, the odor in this cell was just overbearing. It's just like, this thing smells like you just locked me inside of a septic tank, a full septic tank that has no air port, no way to ventilate the smell. I'm just like, why does this room stink so bad? So here's why the room actually stunk so bad. You know, I've described the rooms to you guys before. We're talking about like a 6x9 cell that has a bunk on one wall. There in this cell, they had like a little desk mounted to the wall with a little stool you could sit on, and then they have a toilet sink combo built onto the wall. Well, when I look at the toilet, it's full. It's got doo-doo and piss all in it, shit and piss all in the toilet. So I'm like, why hasn't somebody flushed the toilet? What was wrong with Buddy that was in the cell before me? So I try to hit the button and flush it. It won't flush. I'm like, what? They got my flusher turned off? Oh man, what? Is my toilet broken? So I get on the vent immediately and ask my neighbor, hey, you can talk through the vent to each other. I'm like, hey man, they got the water turned off? He's like, nah man, they ain't got the water turned off. I'm like, well, how come the toilet won't flush over here? He's like, nobody's toilet will flush. I'm like, what's wrong? Why will not nobody's toilets flush? He said, the flush button is outside of the cell. The flush button that's in the cell is disconnected. I'm like, well, why? We're locked in the cell. Why the hell would they do that? So the reason that they do that is because this wing was notorious for people flooding the wing out. So guys will take their blanket, their pillowcase, whatever property they could possibly get, their mattress, they'll put their uniform, they'll put it in the toilet and start flushing until the cell floods. And then it's going out of the cell into the hallway and it's flooding other people's cells. So they said to prevent that, they just turned everybody's flushing button off. And now, the only way to get your toilet flushed, the only way to alleviate some of this damn smell in the cell is to get the officer, when he walks by, to flush your toilet. Well, listen, that's a tremendous task to accomplish. And there's not much that, task-wise, that I feel like I can accomplish in life. But getting the officer to flush your toilet on B wing, a psych wing, is a monumental task. So when they come by to do their little rounds, pretend like they're doing their rounds, all you see is this. Like, what was that flash that just went by my cell? And the reason why you don't know that they're coming, and especially on this wing, is they will leave their keys that normally would rattle. So you get accustomed to all the noises, all the little changes in the air. You know when somebody's coming, especially by the keys rattling. Well, they'll leave the keys on the officer deck. And they'll come down there so quiet and just come by like a bullet because they don't want to flush anybody's toilet. They don't want to hear what anybody's got to ask them, what anybody's got to say, because the people that are on this wing are notorious about making shit bombs. Literally that I'm talking about. They'll take their milk carton, fill it with piss, fill it with shit, and let it sit in the cell and brew for days. And when the officer's walking by, they'll put it down at the bottom of the door where the little flap is and stomp on it. They stomp on it, shoot shit and piss up under the door onto the officer's boots. So there are so many different ways that people play games in this type of wing that the officers are not trying to be down there. So if you've got a problem, if something's wrong with you medically, some guys are having heart, chest problems, hey, your ass is out of gas, buddy. You shouldn't have ended up on B wing. You shouldn't have ended up at FSP on disciplinary confinement because you're probably going to die. So that's just the beginning of it. This smell. Now, I'm looking around the cell and this thing is absolutely filthy, disgusting. And they are not bringing no type of cleaning material onto this wing ever. you're not going to get to clean your cell. It just is not happening. And then, to make matters even worse, this steel bunk that's connected to the wall, that's normally a flat piece of steel that your mattress is on and you can lay down on and try to go to sleep. It's not flat. Guys have jumped up and down on this bunk so many times that they bent the bunk to where it's like a U shape. And I don't know about you, but sleeping on a piece of steel on a little thin mat is already a difficult thing to do and actually get some sleep. But when you try to sleep with your body bent in a curve on a steel bunk with a little thin mat that's lumpy and torn up, man, that requires some extreme skill. That requires a lot of practice. And you're not going to get it the first day. It just ain't happening. So my first 24 hours in this thing, I'm overwhelmed with this freaking smell. Everybody's banging, everybody's screaming, dudes are arguing, people are robbing each other from inside of their cell. The bunk's messed up and my room's a wreck. I am not getting no sleep. It got so bad that after about 24, maybe 30 hours, I was just so exhausted, I just finally just passed out. But when I woke up, I was not rested. And I'm just like, oh my, damn, how long am I going to be in there? And you don't know how long you're going to be on disciplinary confinement. So it got to the point, like I was telling you earlier, that I don't do drugs. But I'm hearing all these people talking. And I'm hearing all these people talking about these psych meds. And I know psych meds, if you don't need psych meds, are going to do one thing. They're going to knock you slap out. You're going to sleep with your tongue hanging out of your mouth, looking like an old hound dog. In fact, they had a psych med called, people call it hound dog, because you'd be laying down like a dog with your tongue hanging out of your mouth. So I hear the dudes on the door talking about selling some psych meds. I'm like, hey, yo, I need to buy one of them. And so buddy tells me, shoot your line. Shoot my line out there. Throw some stamps on there. I'm pretty sure that's what I bought it with, was some stamps, because at this time I don't have any type of canteen or anything. So shoot the line, he shoots the psych med back to me. I take this thing, I'm like, I'm gonna get me some sleep. Man, I like to never ever woke up. I'm literally, I remember when it knocked me out, I kept trying to wake up and I fall back out, boom. Trying to wake up. I am not getting up. I think I slept for a couple of days. It was brutal, but when I woke up, I was like, damn, I will never ever do that again. Ever. Never ever ever do that again. That was the worst, even though it was the deepest sleep that I have ever had, it was the worst sleep because I kept wanting to wake up and it just would not allow me to wake up. I remember they hollered out, shower time, get on the door. And I was like, oh, I got to get me a shower. And I'm getting up to get my towel and I fell back down, boom. I'm just out of it. Oh man, I can't even get a shower. I woke up a day or so later, showers have been done. And listen, this sink is so filthy. And you got no cleaning material. You ain't got no toilet paper. When they locked me in the cell to begin with, there was not even any toilet paper in the cell. So you got no way to really clean the sink and take a bird bath. Brutal conditions, man. The psych wing at FSP, B wing. And for anybody that's ever been there, they already know. B wing, man, it is brutal when we're talking about your mental stability. In fact, I'm going to wrap it up right here with this story right here. On B wing, I hear the chains rattling. So I know somebody's being escorted back. You hear the man coming down the walkway, shuffling his way along. You can hear the officers coming with their keys rattling, because they carry their keys when they're coming to let it, escort somebody and put them in a cell. And all of a sudden I hear the guy that they're escorting say, Sarge, buddy's hanging in the cell. And then you hear the progression of them stop. And then you hear the Sarge kind of shuffle over to the door. He said, yeah, he sure is, ain't he? And do you know what happened at that moment? They continued to escort the man to the cell, left the man down there hanging, took their time, escorted this man down the hallway to his cell, put him in his cell, not in a hurry, and then walked back down there slowly. Told him to pop the door, went in there, took the man down. The man was dead. They didn't even call for medical to hurry up and come down there or anything. They went down there, escorted the man to the cell, put him in there, made their little Mosley way back down to the cell, I'm telling you, they don't care about your life. They will take your life. They hope you do take your life. B-Wing sucks, man. That's real talk. Anyways, guys, I greatly appreciate everybody for watching my video. If you haven't already done it, hit the subscribe button, drop some comments, and with that, I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you for watching.